Hey, I'm Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. Yeah, you know me. And you're watching Studio Brussel. Yeah.
Good to see you. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you, too.
You played here last night.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was awesome. It was great. You know, we do what we always do, and but it was great to get a chance to play for the Graspop audience and be in Belgium for the first time in 30 years, 25 years.
Yeah, something like that.
So a lot of people have waited a long time to see Twisted Sister. Sorry.
I think the last big festival in Belgium you played was the Heavy Sound Festival in 1984.
There you go. Yes. Again, sorry. We don't play a lot, you know. So, but when we do, try to make it memorable.
Yeah, and it's keeping things special for yourselves and for the fans as well.
Yeah, well, that's one thing that's worked really well for us is that because we don't play often, it becomes an event, and we wind up higher on the bill than maybe other bands who have sold more records than us. We've been on shows, and people go, wait a minute, we were more popular than they were. You said, yeah, but you play every year, all the time, and Twisted Sister shows up once every 30 years or so. So I'll see you when I'm 90.
What I thought was good to see is that there's a whole new generation of fans, because you might have grown older over the 30 years, but the fans more or less stayed the same
older?
age.
Oh, yes.
I mean, we saw teenagers here, fans in their early 20s, who obviously never saw you before.
No, I mean, yeah.
What's the appeal of Twisted Sister? Do you have an explanation for that?
I don't know what the appeal of Twisted Sister is. I know what the appeal is. There's a lot of younger people in the crowd. I'd say it's like half younger people. Maybe they've heard about it. We're kind of legendary. And the appeal is it's a style of performing that doesn't really exist too much anymore. Yeah. New bands don't do what we do. Even old band, well, the old guys can't do what we do. Because they didn't take care of themselves. And I think, look, this is what I say is missing from new music, and I love new music. I'm a big fan of new metal bands and stuff, but most of them, they're not rock stars anymore. Yeah. It's not bigger than life, and that's missing. And young fans, they're excited about that. That's why a band like Black Veil Brides is blowing up, I think, because they're rock stars. Yeah. When they walk in, the band has walked in. That's what it was like back in the day. You never had to question who was in the band. Yeah. It's those crazy-looking fuckers. That's the band. Sorry. That's the band, Now, honestly, I was meeting people backstage. I didn't know who they were. Yeah.
Are they crew nice, or are they band?
Yeah, I'm nice to everybody. Who was that? One of the guys in Mayhem? And a great band, but he came up and I said, hey, how you doing, man? I thought it was a crew roadie. And they go, oh, no, that's the guy from Mayhem. I'm like, whoa. You got to look like a rock star, man. You got to have the attitude. I'm talking to the people out there.
Yeah, of course. You sure have attitude. There's no question.
That's what I got. I got attitude.
During the show yesterday, you referred to the little thing you had there going with the PMRC in the 80s.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a topic we should discuss a little more. Because actually it brought a lot of extra attention to Twisted Sister and to a lot of other bands as well. But my question is really, did it make sense at the time? Of course it didn't, but did it have some effect? Because when we see the lyrics and the bands that they were opposing to back then, and we see some of the newer bands now in lyrics, in rap music, in R&B, etc., it's grown worse, quote unquote.
Right. It didn't. The censorship hearings of the 80s, and then the stickering of the records, the warning, parental advisory, it didn't stop lyrics that were offensive, but everything I was worried about that the sticker would cause came true. Yeah. I was worried that stores would use it to separate records from, and they did. They wouldn't put them in the racks
Yeah.
so you couldn't find them easily. Some stores wouldn't carry those records, so they made it more difficult to find. And then it got real. One thing I didn't expect in the 90s, the big chains in America, big stores, they would make the record companies make edited and censored records, but they didn't tell the people. So you walk in a store and you buy your record, the first Kid Rock album. Can you curse on the radio here?
Sure.
Yeah.
We encourage it.
Right. The first Kid Rock album had a song called "Fuck Off." Well, in certain stores, that song wasn't on the record.
Yeah.
But you didn't know going in and buying it that this was edited.
Yeah.
It was just quietly done. Yeah. And so that really was bothersome because it was keeping music from people and changing the artist's message. And that's not the job of a store to do.
Yeah.
So it was problematic, but in the end, it doesn't stop anything.
No. Is it still going on, the things you describe now?
You know, well, now the music scene's changed, and now it's all downloads and stuff like that, and I don't know if they're editing downloads yet. The music industry, shot itself in the foot. But the conservative, the ultra-conservative element in society always exists. And even when they're pushed down and they're kept quiet by the more liberal people, they're still there, and a lot of them are rich, and a lot of them are manipulative, and they work behind the scenes. Just like that censoring records for certain stores, the public didn't know about that. That was during the Clinton era. That was during the Democrats and the liberals, but it was quietly. Conservative influence, it's there always. Yeah. It's a problem. Kill them all now.
All right. Another thing is Twisted Sister never lost its appeal, and the music lives on somehow in places you wouldn't expect, like the Rock of Ages, the new movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen it, the new movie with Tom Cruise? There's some Twisted Sister music in it, right?
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen the movie. I was in the Broadway show.
Yeah.
I was on Broadway, so I'm very aware that the show has Twisted music in it. And, I mean... we're not going to take it. I Want to Rock have just sort of transcended the genre, meaning the appeal just crosses over to everybody. And anywhere we go in the world, everybody knows we're not going to take it. It's almost a folk song. They sing it around the campfire. We're not going. But it's everybody's song now. But Rock of Ages, what's great about that is it's a show that is shined a light on an era of music that has not gotten the respect that other eras of music have gotten. The 80s, hair metal, the corporate rock of bands like Foreigner, Journey, bands like that, has always been the music elite, always looked down on that music. And Rock of Ages has said, this was great music. This was the people's music. The critics may not have liked it, but it sold more than the music the critics like. Yeah. Millions and millions and millions and millions of people all over the world love this music. It's not for the critics to decide what's important. The people will decide what's important. And Rock of Ages just shines a light on that era of the 80s, and the fact that the Broadway show is one of the 100 longest running shows on Broadway, and now it's made into a movie. It says that this is important.
Yeah. It's great, and we've seen, as you say, we've seen it over the years here. Journey's played here, Foreigner played here, and with a lot of success.
Well, again, these are very powerful. Twisted Sister. I mean, we haven't been here in 30 years, and the reaction last time, my God, they wouldn't stop singing "We're Not Going to Take It." That was great. Yeah. Even during Limp Bizkit's set, they were singing "We're Not Going to." I don't know that I made that up. I don't know that for a fact.
No, well, there was a thing. I interviewed Fred Durst of Limp Bizkit yesterday, and I asked him what he'd expect of seeing Twisted Sister as well, and he said, "Well, I'm not sure, but there's one thing I know, and they're definitely not gonna take it." So it was kind of funny.
They were apparently, I think they were on stage while we were playing. So
no, they played after you actually, and there was a mixed vibe, so to speak. It was. But they did well. They did well.
Yeah, it's we just did Sweden Rock, and they had Soundgarden as one of the headliners, and I love Soundgarden, and I love Limp Bizkit too. I mean, I really like that stuff. But I was surprised that those bands didn't get like the bands of the 2000s aren't getting, or the 90s aren't getting the reaction of the 80s bands.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is, but I just think it may be something about, again, that whole rock star thing, that larger than life thing, that even though Limp Bizkit, they've got a lot of energy. I don't know how they were last night, but back in the day, man, they rocked. So I'm assuming they kicked ass last night.
Yeah. They did.
They did, good.
I saw you were signing your book here earlier today.
Yes.
How's the response to that here with the Belgian fans?
It's it's been great. Like I said, the book's a unique thing because to me, if you're interested in more than my big songs, then I want to meet you. Yeah. So it's a chance. It says that you're interested in Dee Snider, and that's why I wanted the opportunity to do a signing to people who wanted to get a copy of the book and wanted to meet me, and I get a chance to meet them. And I do signings very different than anybody else. I see that every signing I go to, they always have a table and there's seats, and the people sit down and they walk up. And I've done signings with other bands, and they don't even look at the fans or anything like that. And to me, if you're going to meet people, meet them. So I always come out in front of the table, and I stand there and I shake their hands and I take a picture and say hello. And I mean, I think that should be part of that moment. You're meeting your fan. Yeah. So it's a shared experience, not like next, that's not meeting somebody.
All right. Well, thank you very much for stopping by.
I have a question for you.
Oh, go ahead.
What is with the fucking red hats? People got these red cowboy hats on. They're all walking around. They sell them, right? Why red? Red's not metal.
It's definitely not metal.
That's metal. Should it be black?
No, it's they're not selling them. I think it's it's beer, kind of
promotion.
Beer, like one of the sponsors,
like the Jägermeister orange hats.
Yeah, exactly.
Jägermeister, the disgusting drink of champions. Jägermeister, better known as cough syrup.
True.
There's someplace somebody is laughing, going, "I can't believe they're drinking this shit. I can't believe. I told you they drink it. If we put a cool label on it and made it seem appealing, it doesn't matter that it's horrible and it gives you a headache." I guess they won't be calling me for the endorsement.
Too late now.
Too late now.
Thank you, Dee. Thank you.
Hey, pleasure, man.